So the door opens to the booth where I'm at. Now this place is gorgeous. So I'm sitting there and I look up and who is standing in the door? It's Gene Autry, honest
Wow.
to God. And
Wow.
and he used to walk around the building, he'd have on, his cowboy boots and this and that, never had a hat on or anything. But he used to have like a little penknife and he would like clean his nails kind of thing. So anyway, he comes in and he says, hey there, Walt. I said, oh, yes, Mr. Autry, how are you? And I get up, and come on. He said, no, no, sit down. You're working. You're working. He said, you mind if I come in and talk to you a little bit? I said, oh, no, sir. Please come right on in. Now, I had never met him at that point, right? But I understood he had, okayed me being hired. Now, I understand they had no other black talent ever. They had a black guy on Channel 5 television that he owned, a,
Okay.
a guy that was
KTLA. Yeah.
yeah, KTLA. I forget his name right
Hmm.
now, but he was over there. But otherwise, that was it. So anyway, he sits down and he says, "Well," he says, "you're really doing a great job. I'm glad you're here." I said, "Well, thank you, Mr. Autry. I really appreciate it." And I'm thinking in my head, my heart's going like this, because I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, I'm wondering how many black folks has he ever really had any contact with or anything? And I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just saying
Right.
he's wealthy. He's a movie star. He owns
Yeah.
the he owns the Los Angeles Angels baseball team and all this
Yeah.
other stuff. And he's sitting there talking to me like I'm just one of the boys. And I'm thinking, this
Wow.
is different. And I
That.
said, well, excuse me a second, Mr. Oh, no, no, do what you got to do. And I'm like, you listen to KMPC, it's 5 minutes after two, blah, 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 blah. And, one of our sponsors is so and so and so and so. I want you to go to such, I'm reading a live commercial, and all that, and I get finished and
Yeah.
something like that. And I go like that. And the guy turns off the mic, and I said, why? He said, boy, he says, you need to know this. I said, what's that? He says, my wife really likes you. I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, she told me, listening to you, you've been with us a little while. And at that time, I had been there maybe like 3 weeks, a month, maybe a little more. And he says, my wife really likes you. And he says, I just want you to know you're doing a good job. I said, well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. And he said, well, listen, he says, I'm going to go ahead and go. And he says, thanks for letting me come in and talk with you. And I'm thinking to myself, you own the place. But he was very courteous, and and I'll never forget. And I never he's gone and everything. And later I see Jim. I was like, man, Gene Autry came in and sat down and talked with me. He said, oh yeah, he's like really nice man.